Matt Camp from DealMachine. And for everyone who's ever watched my YouTube channel, one of my first videos ever, I talked to the founder of DealMachine. And he told me, I think, two and a half years ago, how important drawing for dollars was. And this was when I was first starting drawing for dollars. And I want everyone to understand this. Like, I give a lot of credit to him. He's the one that really, I did a lot of drawing for dollars, but not really like, starting out a little more. Like, and he just told me, he's like, just, if you do in your business, do 400 leads, get a deal every time. And I kind of, after that conversation I had with him, I think I was 19. It was crazy. And then I started implementing more and more. And eventually, and I've used I'll just be honest, I don't know if Matt's here, but like I've tried every drawing for dollars app out there. I've tried every single one. And honestly, I think Matt knows this too. You can draw for dollars by yourself. You don't have to have an app. You can do a pen and paper. You do all this stuff, right? But honestly, what I could tell you is like hands down, pound for pound, the best drawing for dollars app service type thing out there is DealMachine. And honestly, that's what I want to talk about today. Like how to use DealMachine, how it works. And if you're serious about drawing for dollars, right, it is hands down the cheapest, most effective way to get deals. And it is still today super underrated. And guys, if you just put your head down and you spend maybe even $100 a month, like at most for gas money, softwares, all this, like you can easily do 30, 40, 50K a year. And it's hands down the best one when it comes to building up a scaling system, DealMachine. So like if you're trying to get your first deal, I always recommend DealMachine. If you want to get your 1,000th deal and you have a team of drawing for dollars for you, DealMachine's got you covered. So that's what I want to talk about today. That's what I'm going to break down. So I'm excited. So without further ado, I want Matt to kind of break down what DealMachine is, what we're talking about, and everything like that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Love to be on here. Love the energy you bring. Always have loved your content. And like the fact that you give away everything free is awesome, man. Like I love what you're doing. So keep being you. But
awesome, man.
Thanks again for having me on. I know, like you said, I mean, the idea of driving for dollars, the idea of going and finding off market deals like this. I mean, we did not come up with that. That's been around forever. That's a tried and true proven process. And you can do it, like you said, you can do it with, going out and pen and paper and all of that. But that's why we created this technology. That's why David had that idea, is to give you tools to make that process just so much easier, so much more efficient and effective, and really help you scale that. So super excited to talk today. I know your community, I know you guys are ready to learn, ready to take action. So I'll really give a deep dive today. I know our mission in general is to give everyone the power of real estate investing. That is our one line. Hey, everything that we do in terms of creating the product, in terms of how we evolve it, that's what we're focused on. So a lot of our decision making is focused on, okay, how do we help you go from 0 to 1? Like, how can we help you, give you the tools to be the fastest process from going from 0 to 1, and through building a list, through marketing that list, through following up with that list until you close deals, like you said, and do it in the way that's the most cost-effective way possible. So that's our mission. I mean, we've been around, like you said, since, I know we started originally like 2016, 17, going into 18 was when people started to find out about us. We've had about 200,000 people download the app at this point. We're definitely really proud and hang our hat on the fact that we're the highest rated and most reviewed app out there for real estate investors. So in terms of what makes us different, we really try to rely on our customers to say like, hey, they're spreading the word and sharing, the quality of work for you right there. But we've had, on our own YouTube channel, a couple hundred people we brought on at this point to talk about DealMachine and talk about really like, here are the deals that they landed. And a lot of the stuff I share today, like the pro tips we'll go into and really deep dive into, it's from them. It's from the people who are out there every day landing deals in every single state in the US. We've had somebody do a deal at this point. So I'll share a lot of those pro tips, a lot of those best practices. And now more than ever, like, it's an exciting time to be in this, man. Like it is, a time where, hey, anytime there's a slowdown, anytime there's any kind of downturn, that means there's more distress out there. And as investors or wholesalers, our goal is we want to solve that distress. We come in and can solve problems for people using speed, using convenience, using cash. And we're more valuable now whenever the market's uncertain than any other time. So I want to give you really the ultimate deep dive today, help you use strategies that are the most cost-effective strategy for wholesaling, and really get out there and excited to be here, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. And the best part about this is you don't need no guru to learn driving for dollars. It's really simple. Like it's not as people really, and I don't want to get into like with you, but like there's people that sell courses on how to drive for dollars. And between you and me, it's all about just finding ugly looking houses and just having conversations with them. You will get deals, right? And before we get into like DealMachine, like I always say everyone, like DealMachine's just a software. It's just a tool, right? Like you can go out here and do, 10 deals on driving for dollars without DealMachine, right? It's like using a shovel for digging. It's just going to make it a lot easier. It's not going to dig for you. You still got to pick up that shovel and do it. It just makes the job a lot easier. And that's honestly the point. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's, using that shovel, I mean, that's what makes driving for dollars such a powerful strategy to begin with, is that it takes some work. Like you have to go out there, you have to earn that list. You have to go out and you're using your own kind of sweat equity to get out there. And, you're finding those properties that are the ugly houses. They're the ones that are, have signs of physical distress. They have a tarp on the roof, or gutters falling off, or boarded up windows, or maybe they are just out of date. They've got a window AC unit. They've got things like a super overstuffed mailbox or really overgrown grass to show you that for whatever reason the owner of that property just isn't keeping up with the physical appearance of it. And that is the number one indicator of a motivated seller. Like that is the number one indicator to say, hey, we could have somebody who's looking to sell right now. And they're also the least competitive leads out there as well, because you earned that list. Like you can't just go and pull a list of, driving for dollars leads of houses with a tarp on the roof, through any kind of software. Like, there's no data out there to do that. Like you need to go out there and find those properties yourself, find those diamonds in the rough. And it's something as well, like David himself. I mean, why DealMachine was even started is his, quick story for you guys. I know David, he was new to Indianapolis. I've known David forever. We grew up in St. Louis together. I'm still in St. Louis here. But when he moved to Indy, he was, he knew that the real estate in general, because he had read Rich Dad Poor Dad. He had listened to podcasts. He was listening to things like this, where he knew like, hey, real estate is the most powerful wealth generating tool out there. So he knew at some point he wanted to get into it, but he didn't know where to start. He didn't know how to get involved. He didn't know where to go find that first deal. And he would go to meetups in Indianapolis. He would start to try to network locally. And over again, he heard this driving for dollars term of like, hey, go out, build a list of ugly houses, of houses that need some love and care. And, those are the properties that are likely to sell. You like go directly to those owners. And he started to try to do that himself. He got in his car, he would drive around, he'd look for those properties, and, he'd take a pencil and paper and write down the address and try to, look up more info about that owner to figure out like, hey, what's the situation with this property? Is it, is it absentee owned? What's going on with it? And then he would figure out, okay, cool, this is a good lead. Let me send a postcard to them, or let me try to reach out to them in some way. And he realized as he was driving around, he would create a list of properties that were really, really solid, because he knew that like he was doing the right thing, and he knew like, hey, this is the strategy that I keep getting recommended. And then he also found out like 6 months later, 12 months later, when he hadn't landed a deal yet, he was looking and all these houses were selling, and he's like, man, why aren't they selling to me? Like, what can I do to get better at this strategy? I'm building the right list, it's the right leads, but how do I do this more effectively, more efficiently? And that's where him founding DealMachine came from, was to be able to be way more effective when driving around, and not to double back on his routes, and to follow up with people many, many times, not just one time, and to save him time in the whole process, and to use data to look up and make sure it's a really good lead. So he would go through all of that himself. He created DealMachine version 1 for himself. He was going into real estate. Like, again, he didn't know where to start. He, had took in a lot of information to say, hey, you should be doing this, but he just didn't know that playbook of how to get rolling. And, creating DealMachine, he ended up building a portfolio of 10 properties, over $1.5 million in equity, 5 figures of cash flow, through that entire process, built his own financial freedom. And as he was doing that, he had all these buddies that he was talking to about real estate that would say, hey, how are you doing this? Like, what can I be doing too, to go build my, to go find these deals that you're doing? And, that's where he put DealMachine on the App Store and had version 1 out there, and it's really evolved since. So just want to give people a little bit of context on like, hey, here's where we're coming from and the journey we've been on today. So
awesome. Well, let's get into it. Let's kind of break it all down.
Awesome, man. So, are you able to share my screen here? I know
Yeah, I think it pops up. So
yeah, there we go.
that's why, guys, you do see the link on the bottom here,
Mhm.
dmzach.com. So if you want to try out it for free, I always tell other people, just try it out for free. You don't have to buy it. I just always try it out because
Mhm.
there are a lot of softwares out there, but I always recommend just try it out. Like, even if you don't want to like use it, I would just try it and see, because you could find some really good deals just from trying that out, and get you some deals. So
Yep. Yeah, it's 7-day free trial, and then if you go through that, I mean, you're going to get $30 in credits, which is, I mean, that covers quite a bit of skip tracing, postcards, all of that inside the app as well, which you wouldn't get normally just going through our website. So, wanted to hook you guys up and make sure that you were
how many
set up
skip
for
traces would that be?
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that.
Okay, let's get it. See how many free deals you can get, because honestly, probably get your first deal in a week if you really put pedal to the metal.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, we've had people on our YouTube channel who it was literally the fourth house they called. They landed the contract, so it can happen. I mean, if you want to set yourself for long-term success, what I show you today and the systems and processes that I show you today, like, this is how you do this for sustained success, right? Not just one-off deal where you happen to talk to the right person at the right time, but if you want to do deals, every single month, then hey, this is the stuff that the pros are doing to do that. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Let's get into it.
awesome. So to kind of begin with, and I'll pull this up here. I'm in the drive tab right here. Assuming you have DealMachine already, assuming you're out there ready to drive. Just to give a quick heads up too, we've got a mobile app as well. So we've got the mobile app, and then here's the desktop version. They look extremely similar. The mobile app, really, really easy, where you pull up the map just like this as well. But where I really recommend people start is before they even get out there and spend any time driving around or getting out there to figure out like how to drive for dollars. If you have, we have one thing within our data and one feature here. If you have this highlights feature unlocked, highly recommend starting here, just because you can use data to really help you get started and really help hey, what are the areas of town that are really likely to have these motivated sellers? So yes, definitely, I don't want to give you too many hoops to jump through. Like, it's great to go out and just drive your own neighborhood, because what a deal looks like there best. What a house looks like that stands out from other houses like this. But if you have the ability to start on your desktop and use this highlights feature, this is a way to really use data to inform you on, hey, here's where I should be going. So if I hit the highlights button right here to start off, Zach, going into this, I will use this as a way to really, essentially filter out properties around you and find great neighborhoods that can help you kind of plan your route and help you get, before you get in your car and before you start driving. So, looking at this, a couple of, immediately a couple of things I can point out. You've got a lot of quick list filters right here. So you've got things like, hey, vacant properties, or, properties in the foreclosure process, or properties probably owned by investors because the owner of multiple properties, or properties that, absentee, even fun things that are new now, like zombie properties, assumable mortgages, senior owner, all kinds of quick lists here. And starting here, I mean, even just going in, if you just simply start off, create a highlight and say, hey, yeah, like let's find houses that were year built before 1992. So that it's at least a 30-year-old home, just because it gives you a higher opportunity to go find a property that needs some love and care, that needs some updating. You can go through that. You can say, hey, yeah, show me properties that have a calculated value of, greater than 150K. I'm in St. Louis, so that's a pretty good baseline here. Yep, I got enough zeros there. Cool. And you're just adding on these filters, and you can get really specific, or I like to keep it pretty broad, where I can put those two things on, and then also say, hey, show me a property type of single family home. We're going to be looking for single family here. So if I confirm all those things and then hit apply highlights, you're going to see a ton of highlights already start to pop up in neighborhoods that fit that criteria, right? So this is a great way to start off and show you, like, yeah, this area of town, they're older houses. They're houses that fit that particular criteria, and they're houses that are single family homes. So I know, hey, these are all properties that, which I've got a lot of. Here we go. We got the filters going on. If I drive through this neighborhood, all of these different blocks right here, this is a great part of town for me to start driving around, because they have houses that, they're a little older. They've got some meat on the bone to wholesale them because they're worth at least 150K, and they're single family. So, Zach, are there any other filters that you really look at right away of saying like, yeah, like this is a good buy box or a good?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what I could tell you is we can get in this a little later with reverse drawing for dollars. But
There we
my
go. Now I've got
biggest secret for drawing for dollars, which I found really good places, is if you can find pockets where you've already done deals. I've always found deals are really close to each other.
Yep.
Like I did one really good deal on a code violation, right? And I just drive for dollars around that area where that code violation was. You can pick off like 2 or 3 more deals. And
Yep.
when I was doing direct mail, I found most of my deals came from like only 3 zip codes, like 80% of them. And so when I have my team drawing for dollars, they only use those zip codes because 80% of all the deals are in there. It's insane. You can't really pull a list of that, right? You got to do some deals first. But in my opinion, that's the best spot because they're really hot areas too. So if you could find places where you see your competition doing a lot of deals, I would go after those zip codes and go after them. Then when you're in that zip code, I can go after the vacants. I can go after high equity. I can go after there. But when it comes to the top ones, a lot of your cash buyers too, right? Like we're talking about in this market where a lot of cash buyers are getting a little more pickier. Some, like in St. Louis, they might not want to be in a high crime area. They just don't. And so they're like, don't do this zip code or this zip code, but I really like this area. Okay, roger that. So if my cash buyer really likes the zip code in St. Louis, let's find an ugly house there. I get that deal under contract and know exactly how to sell it to them.
Yeah.
That's what I really like. But
love those tips. Yeah. Yeah. Combining what cash buyers are telling you and then data to put those two together to say, hey, here's what a good property looks like. And here are the areas that we're already buying in. That's, especially in this market, really, really good place to start. You're kind of reverse engineering that to listen to what the investors are doing, to look at where deals are happening, where activity is already happening, and then start driving in those areas. So love that. Make sure to use the highlights filter if you can to be able to combine those two things together and find properties that fit their buy box in areas that activity is happening. So love that. I won't mess with the mobile app here for you guys today, but the desktop, again, it's very, very similar. And once you've done this, once you've gone out, gone in the desktop version, looked, done those highlights, figured out exactly where you're going to go. Essentially where you can go from there is you can pull out your phone, pull out the mobile app there. Everything that you do on the phone syncs to the desktop as well. So everything you're doing here is going to sync to your phone and, vice versa. And really going here, it locks onto your location. So if you have the mobile app pulled up,
I got the mobile. I'll show everyone the mobile app after. I got my iPad here.
Oh yeah, there we go. Love it.
Show you guys after.
Cool. Yeah, perfect. So it locks on your location just like that. So you'll see your blue dot pop up right here. And as you drive down the street, it'll drive.
Oh, I think this thing paused for a second, but there you go. You're good.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So the satellite view up here in this map, this top left button, map options, a lot of people like that too. Makes it a little easier to see the specific houses, right? But I'll stick to this kind of standard grid view for this. But going down the street, it locks on your location and drives with you like this. And really, you see, as you're driving for dollars, you're getting to know your market. The whole point is that you're looking for physically distressed properties. You can use this and just within the map in general, you'll see these blue pins pop up, right? Those pins are ones that I've added as a lead already. So those are all properties. I've been in this area quite a bit of St. Louis, but if you drive down, you'll be able to drive around and see these blue dots pop up as you add the leads. And you'll see also these blue dots right here. You got the blue pins for the lead. Blue dot is also properties that have an MLS status. So let me find one. Here we go. So it's had an MLS status within the last 12 months. And this is data that we have for literally every single state. So non-disclosure states, everything included. You can go in here and see this one was sold, and you can click into it and see, okay, this was sold in 2021. You can see the listing price, days on market. You can see more about the listing agent, all of that. So you can use this as a way to also kind of filter out leads if you want to stay off market or see properties that have recently sold and avoid those, right? But the simple as it can be, it locks on your location. You drive down the street and you just see all these properties popping up around you as you're driving around. So as you do that, you drive through here. Again, you're looking for the houses that have the siding falling off, gutters in rough condition, windows or roof in rough condition, weeds through the concrete, even things like, I'll use this example a little bit. one of our first hires, he was practicing what we preach using DealMachine, got his first deal, and it was a property that had Halloween decorations up, and it was like March.
Oh yeah.
So like, things like that, just for whatever reason, that owner just isn't keeping up with it, right? So
yeah.
Mhm.
I'll tell you this, like I've always found this drawing for dollars, and you let me know if it's true, but like if there's even something that seems off, just put it on. Just it's better just to have that than not, because I've had so many deals where like one little weird thing was off, and that was the thing that just showed it up, So yeah, man, like a little Santa Claus out there, like something that seems weird, just add it on. It doesn't matter.
Yep, absolutely. I would say definitely be more liberal with those leads of what qualifies as a distress. But as you're going through this, you see all these black dots pop around you. So say I see 5503 roads. Might be say it's a rundown property. Okay, cool. I click on that particular property, can look and see, okay, hey, it's corporate owned and not great equity. Probably not an ideal lead there.
Yeah, it was sold in 2021 too.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're driving down the street here, there, let me turn this for you guys. If you click on 5518 roads here, awesome. This one's got good equity. This one's sold in 2003. This could be a good lead. If you saw this being physically distressed, as you drive around as a physically distressed property, I always look at recent sale date. Look at owner type. So is it owner occupied? Is it absentee? Is it vacant? What's the owner information about that property? Like what's the owner type? And then look at the equity percentage. So all those things combined up at the top here are a really good way to help kind of qualify that lead as you hit add lead. And as you drive down the street, you just hit add lead, boom, you've got that pop up right there and on to the next one. So simple as that. You're tagging them as you go. I also highly recommend as you add those leads, if it's a house that is a higher level of distress, or it fit your highlight, or is one that you want to really focus on, spend more time on. Another quick pro tip for you is really adding tags to those leads.
Yeah.
And, within the mobile app, it's really easy to do that. You can just see the tags pop up right away and you can hit add tag, but hitting that right there, you can mark that as high priority. And that way, whenever you jump into work your lead list later, which I'll show you here in a few minutes, that entire process, you can, then organize your leads and say, hey, show me all the high priority leads that I've tagged. And that's where where to start. That's where to really focus your time.
Okay.
Going through this as well, I would say the list of leads that we're, creating right here as we're going down the street and, tagging properties here. These are all leads that are going to show up now in the mobile app as well. So, if I'm on desktop, if I'm on mobile and I'm going through this, they instantly sync up at all times. So everything you're doing here, you're doing there, and you're building the best list out there on both at the same time. You're finding those physically distressed leads, which, again, is the number one indicator of a motivated seller. You're finding the leads that have way less competition because you're out there actually building this list that no one else has. That makes it way more likely that it doesn't have other people bombarding them with offers, right? And you're taking this proven process and using tech to save you time and do more deals and bigger deals. So wanted to start there. Is there any questions popping in, Zach, that I'm happy to answer a few before I get into the virtual D4D stuff?
Yeah, I'll get into it. But one thing I could always tell everyone when you're drawing for dollars, I think one of my favorite parts about this, and I've said it a million times, but it's like no one else can buy this list. You have to earn it, which I heard you say before. I've been screaming it forever, but so many people are in Phoenix. Some parts of St. Louis can get a little bit saturated too. People are out here in parts of California, Atlanta. They always go Zach, it's just so annoying. Everybody says to pull this list from the service and then just cold call it. And I got to spend $4K I have to spend $4K in skip tracing, spend all this crazy money. Everyone complains oh, I got to pay gas money. I'm the amount of gas money you spend and the amount of work you have to do, when you pull 500 drawing for dollars leads, that's equal to pretty much 5,000 calls. And it's going to take less time. It's going to cost less money. It's less headache. You're doing less work for more. And so if anybody's watching this right now and they're oh, I'm so sick of this market. There's too many people, guys. That's good because there's buyers. But nobody's willing to do it. And I think that's the problem a lot of people have. They're just not willing to do the work. This is so much easier. And have a good time with this, right? I used to drive for dollars. I remember when I was in, I was coming back and I was kind of getting back into drawing for dollars. That's what I was talking to David. I remember Travis Scott dropped his Astroworld album, and I was so excited for it. And so I made it a thing. Like I wanted to listen to him. Like, you know what? No, I'm gonna listen to the entire album. But when I listen to it, I'm gonna drive for dollars. And it was fun. I had a great time.
Love it.
And like you just have to have a good time while you're doing this. I think a lot of
Absolutely,
people make it like, oh, this is work, guys. Like, have fun while you do it. Do something you never like want to enjoy, and then enjoy it while doing it. And it's amazing, guys. But let's see some questions we got really quick.
Yeah, I see some good ones in the chat, and that's a really good tip too. Just like having fun. I mean, that's gonna go a long way. Like we see people who, I mean, they will listen to podcasts and stuff while they drive for dollars. Like they're learning as they do this. We see people who go with their family, and it's literally like family time while they're also driving for dollars, and it's a whole family unit like looking out for stuff. We see people like you said, listen to whatever new albums drop. Like they have some fun while you do this. So, yeah. So I can answer. Oh, here we go. How long is the free trial? Good question. It's 7 days. So if you use that promo code now, or if you just do dmzach.com right there, that'll be the 7-day free trial to try all this stuff out. If you stick around to the end today, when I'm done through all of this stuff, we do have a special offer that I can share just with Zach's people of saying like, hey, because I know you guys are ready to take action, and really for the people who want to like fully commit and invest in themselves, like I'll give them an option there at the end. But if you're just trying it out, then hey, just go to dmzach.com and 7 days free and give it a try. So,
does DealMachine have access to the Maricopa County homeowner information?
Yeah, we've got Phoenix is. I mean, every single state we've got MLS data. I saw someone ask about that. When you skip trace, you can skip trace one off or skip trace in bulk in DealMachine. I saw that as a question as well. So you've got a couple different options, and I'll show off the skip trace in the mail and all of that for you guys here too in just a minute. But just getting started here. Excited to do the full deep dive for you. So
what I want to do is I want to break this down too. If I don't know if it's got to be in the app or something, but like one of my favorite reverse drawing for dollars things is I don't know if we're on that yet, but like I love reverse drawing for dollars to pre-foreclosures just because they're so motivated and it just gets bombarded with texts. And it's really hard to get a pre-foreclosure deal until you start reverse drawing for dollars. Yeah. So if I just want to like pull a list, or let's say, for example, I have a code violation list or a probate list. How do I put that into DealMachine so I can reverse drive for dollars that?
Yeah, love that. So your first option is physical driving for dollars. Like that's one way you can go about doing this. Yeah. Second option is the reverse D for D. Like I love that strategy in general, and it's something that I think the people who are willing to go that extra step and be able to physically contact people through either a sticky note or a door knock or anything in person like that, the response rates to those are phenomenal. So to be able to go through that, if you hit this leads button up here, right? So you've got drive that I just showed off. And this is, again, very, very similar to this in the mobile app. But you've got the drive map right there, leads right there. Say you have, any kind of outside list, whether it be, you can pull a list, which I can show that off briefly here too, but you can pull a list of pre-foreclosures in a certain area. You can hit and have a list of that, inside a DealMachine itself. Or like what you're talking about here, you can hit add leads and import list right there. And that import list button, that can be any list from anywhere that you've bought through any way or built in any way. And when you import that, it'll open up a list inside DealMachine. So here's an example, expired listings. I've got 15 properties right here in Phoenix, actually. So talking about Maricopa County. And when you do that, you see this drive this list button on the right side. That is your reverse D for D. That is how you time. Yeah, that's how you go in. Yep. And then hit drive list. And man, that's going to be exactly what you're talking about there of like, in the mobile app, it will import your GPS right, or import that right into the app and tell you, hey, for these 15 properties, go here, then here, then here, then here, then here. And this is the fastest route possible to get to all of them. It'll take you roughly an hour, 20 minutes. And hey, you're going to be able to hit up, every single, if you're talking about pre-foreclosure, like that's the way to do it. That's the way to make it really easy to get in front of every single one of those owners.
Yeah, I say, because these pre-foreclosure leads, they get so many calls from loan shark companies, credit card companies. They don't answer when you try to call them. And that's kind of a foundation of drawing for dollars is just cold calling that list. But the problem is if this person's getting bombarded with like a debt collective service, they don't answer their phones. So it's absolutely amazing. So that's how you do that. My other questions is before we get into virtual drawing for dollars, because I went just for my drawing for dollars people, and I'm going to twist your arm on this. You see a lot of people that, I'm just being honest, suck at drawing for dollars. say Deal Machine's the worst and it doesn't work because they just don't put in the work. And you see the people that just make so much money with it, right? What's the biggest difference in your opinion on people that are really successful with it and the ones that just don't?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I would say, really honestly, it's not rocket science. It's the people who put the processes in place and commit to those processes where they actually put in enough leads, they follow up enough times, they're actually building a really substantial list and marketing to those people where whenever you don't have success with a strategy like this, it's typically because you gave up a little early. Like you didn't put in the work that's needed to get to that lead. And we'll see people. I mean, you talked about 400 leads. That's a pretty good barometer for most cities. I mean, if you're in a super competitive city, like even a Phoenix, it might be a couple times more than that. But if you're in most cities, you're looking at, a couple hundred leads up to 400 leads or so, or if you go out there, you build that list, it's truly qualified leads because it's physically distressed houses. Again, that's the number one indicator. And then you market to them. When we look at our data, if you send one marketing piece to somebody, and it's even if it's a good lead that's going to sell, you're actually missing out on that deal 81% of the time because you just didn't catch them at the right time. Like you didn't follow up enough to be the one that's top of mind, that when they are ready to sell and when they do have a really acute need and are actually motivated, that they didn't reach out to you first because they have maybe other people are reaching out, or maybe they have other options or things like that. So it's being able to reach out multiple times. If you only do it once, you're missing out on the over 80% of deals. If you reach out 3 times, you're still missing out on, looking at the data, 51% of deals. Like over half of deals, it takes more than 3 touch points to do this. So the people that are really successful, they've built a good list of leads. They put processes in place to consistently get out there and start driving, and whether it's they themselves or somebody else for them in their app, like is driving and adding leads for creating this list, and then they're consistently marketing to them. We recommend 6 to 12 times, but as many times as you can to really make sure that, hey, you're getting on their radar and you're the one that they think of when the time is right.
Perfect. And then I see you guys talk about all the time, like reaching out to these leads, right? You got direct mail, cold calling, text blasting, reverse drawing for dollars, like all this. Like, which one do you think works the best, and which one do you think like is not? You should probably avoid.
Yeah. So I think what's interesting, in terms of response rates, and this can be kind of all over the board. I think our most successful people that we see, they're doing a creative mix of things. So, having just one touch point, going only with one strategy, like if you just do mail, if you just do text, if you just do call, you're missing out on a lot of people because people respond in different ways and people respond to different marketing, where you might have, somebody who's going to respond to a text, but they're not going to respond to a postcard, or vice versa. Somebody who responds to a postcard, not going to respond to a cold call, or might not trust that. So our most successful investors, they're doing a combination of things. They're doing what we really call is this marketing mix, where they're doing short-term marketing, meaning something that you can get a quick turnaround, quick feedback response to, like a call, a text, a door knock, things like that, where you're immediately getting feedback from somebody. And then they're also combining that with long-term outreach, which is automated marketing that drips over time. So that way you stay top of mind. And that's like sending a postcard once a month to somebody. And that way, and you can set it and forget that. Like you can do that inside a Deal Machine, where you hit send postcard, say send this once a month. I'll show that to you guys here in a minute. But you can send that once a month, and that way it's going to drip over time. And doing those two things in combination is going to give you the best chance. I know, like, just from a pure response rate perspective, I think text, might be a little saturated as of now. But I think in general, like the best answer is, I would say, doing a mix of things and doing it on a consistent long-term basis. So
awesome. And then one thing on a selfish perspective, right? Because we kind of like know exactly how to do the team thing, and I tell a lot of people do it, but like I honestly really haven't utilized, like, you guys have like this crazy like recruitment portal and like driving like teaching thing. I haven't even really been through it too much, just because I'm like, hey, here's the app, just go do it for me. But like, how does that work? Because obviously, if someone's looking to scale a little more, right?
Yeah, that would be if you're, and I would say if you're more, like you said, scaling more on like the more experienced investor side, or somebody who's ready to like really invest in a bigger team. We do have a teams option on Deal Machine where you essentially get, like you said, a recruitment landing page. So it generates a link for you. That's a landing page that basically pitches the idea of joining and driving for dollars for you. So you can post that link anywhere online and post it in, Facebook groups of like, hey, looking for side jobs in St. Louis, or, people who, share it with people who are Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, they're Instacart, they're Amazon, they're out there already driving. So you have a landing page link that says like, hey, here's what driving for dollars is, apply here. And if they fill out that page, then you get an email saying, hey, they're ready, here's, contact them now. They're ready to join your team on DealMachine. And then we also have under that teams plan, you can share essentially their training videos. So you could say, hey, yeah, okay, I've got this application from somebody. I get in touch with them. I say, hey, I'm going to send you a link to train up and onboard into DealMachine. And they go through that link. They'll get a series of training videos that by the time they're done with it, they know exactly how to drive, where to drive, what to look for, basically be ready to go. It's like a starter kit, right out of the box. And they get onboarded into your app and they can just start adding leads for you. Now, they won't market to those leads. They won't like, skip trace or send mail or anything like that, but they're going to start, they'll be ready to go and start building that list for you. So.
Okay. And I know I can add users on it too.
Yeah.
So just for someone who's got like maybe an acquisitions manager, like a couple of them like being like, hey, you're out on this deal, drive for dollars on your free time or something, like for like what, 19, 20 bucks, you can add another user, right?
Yeah. And I know our starter plan, that you get one user there. Our pro plan, you get 5. So you can actually start adding some drivers. And then if you do our like the recruitment and all of that funnel, that plan, the teams plan like that upgrade, you can have up to 100 drivers. So you can get out there and build a whole army if you want. So which we do have people doing that, but
it's crazy. But if you are guys looking to scale up, like I see so many people trying to scale a big cold calling operation or SMS text blasting, but like it's really effective because like just think of the power of one person hustling. If you get like 10 people doing it for you, they don't have to be as good as you. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to find an ugly house. Like I get my sister to do it, right? Like she doesn't do real estate, but like I can get any of my buddies to start doing it. I pay them 15, 20 bucks an hour, good to go. Right. So yeah, I've been telling everyone to do that. I've been even telling people like, hey, if you're really good at closing, find someone that's kind of nervous to talk to sellers and just have them drive for dollars and split the deal. It just anything you can do to get it. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, using your strengths, like you said, and have people go out and drive for you. If you're comfortable like calling or getting in touch with the seller and talking yourself, like it's an easy way to pitch and be a great combo there. And we see people that either pay hourly for a driver, they might pay per deal, they might pay per lead even, where you can go in and check the quality of leads that they're putting into DealMachine. That's one other pro tip. Like when you add a lead on the map right there, it actually prompts you to take a picture of that property too. And that picture, that's something that's going to appear on the postcard if you actually send direct mail to that person, to that particular seller, right? And when they take a picture, if you hire somebody to go drive and they're taking pictures for you, that's a really easy way to just validate, oh, that's a good lead, let me send mail to it, because you can see in the picture, oh, it's physically distressed. So
awesome.
Cool. So yeah, love the questions. You want any other questions, or you want me to jump into the virtual stuff? Or
let me see a couple more questions. We can get into it.
Go for it.
Let's see. So they need to pop up on you.
Yeah, they've got.
I think a lot of people have questions about the list polling because there's obviously other softwares that do it.
Yep.
How could you say do you have people like pulling lists from there, doing regular cold calling, text blasting, like from there, right?
Yeah, we have people who use the list builder as well. I think they're most powerful in tandem. So they're most powerful if you're doing driving for dollars by getting out there, adding leads any way you can, whether it's you, whether it's another driver that you hire, building your list that way. And then if you add list builder onto that, which Zach, you want me to show that off really quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pop it up here real quick.
Do that. Doing that list builder in tandem with it, really list builder in general, like this is something that we tell people, hey, if you have more money, more resources, but less time, like if you can't possibly find time to go out and drive or virtual drive, then this is a way you can just add a ton of leads that could be really high quality and do it in literally 60 seconds. But the best combination is if you're doing that list builder in tandem with driving for dollars. So that way you're kind of getting the best of both worlds of the original list that you built yourself, the sweat equity list that is going to be less competitive and more motivated, in addition to these broader lists that just take, that can be really, really quick to get access to. So, this list builder, you can see it up here as well, or right here. But if you just click list builder, simply pops up right here. And you've got, literally thousands of data points that you can jump into. You've got, the foreclosure types, vacant, absentee, expired. Again, some fun, newer filters down here, like the senior owner, zombie, properties, assumable mortgage, things like that. You can create your own filter. So you can come in here and just say, hey, yeah, I'll create my filter. I want to see, in whoever said, what was it, Maricopa County, right? Maricopa County, cool. Let's look in the entire county, and let's look for properties that, are vacant. And that's going to be pretty massive probably. So this might take a bit to calculate, but you can go in here and just right away, it's going to in real time show you, hey, there's 10,000 leads that are vacant houses in Maricopa. Or you can come in here and if you've, like you said, within St. Louis, if you're looking at a very specific area and you don't want to just pull that entire county, hey, start drawing, hit the draw tool, draw around this one specific, a couple blocks right here. And you can see, oh, there's 5 vacant leads right within that. And you can, if you zoom in a little bit more, you can see those actual leads pop up in real time. So, this is all stuff, everything that we do, every single property updates daily. I think I saw that question as well. This data updates daily as well. So, whether it be, through Driving for Dollars and you want to look at the owner and look at what's sold and all of that, or it be through List Builder, like these leads update daily. And going through this, it's a smart list as well. So if if say you went to a property that was, absentee owned and, high equity, let's look for, equity here, equity percentage, greater than 35, let's call it. Cool. Confirm. You've got 14 of those in this area. Say that, one of them sell, it's no longer absentee. It's going to drop down to 13 automatically. And it'll stop any mail you're sending to them. It'll make sure that you're optimizing your time, optimizing your marketing budget, and do that every single day. It's daily updating. So you can just pull that list, hit build list, and simple as that. You've got 14 leads right there that are, within those 2 blocks and absentee owned, high equity, and there you go. So you've got a couple options here how to build that list within DealMachine like that.
Awesome. All right. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Trying to pop this guy up. I talked to a guy on my podcast a while back, Justin Peters. I remember he was the only guy I've known besides me that scaled up a Driving for Dollars. I remember he did 100 deals just off DealMachine in a year, his first year.
Yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was crazy. But
there's a guy, Ryan Haywood is his name. He's out in North Kansas City that we'll have on our YouTube channel every so often, but it's him and his wife. And he actually in January 2020, he had 0 real estate experience. Like he had never done anything in this space. He tried a 30-day challenge, and day 2 of that challenge was go download DealMachine. And since then, he's actually done over 400 deals using DealMachine since January 2020. He's got a team of 7 now, drivers for him. It's wild, man. So it's fun to be able to share stories like that of people getting out there and like just taking the simple, like he's not doing anything crazy. He's using the mail postcard templates that come preloaded in DealMachine. It's just he's putting in the work, he's putting in the processes, and he's using the shovel to be able to dig like that. So
yeah, that's just what I'm trying to share. Like I think a lot of people watch this, and everyone tries to scale up to like kind of where I'm at, where everyone else is at, and they just think it's like 2 paths. I want people to understand, like, you add Driving for Dollars on there, it's going to be amazing. But I can't find this guy online anymore. But yeah. So
one thing really quick here, I saw somebody had a question about comps. I can show that off too for you guys. But I don't want to jump too far all over the place. I'm happy to still show the virtual stuff if you want, Zach. Or I can jump
into the comps real quick.
Okay, that's fair. So let's see. I've got, here we go, leads right here. So if I just jump into my leads, and again, each different tab is a different list. I can import any kind of list that I want here. Just open that list right here, and you'll see them continue to pop up. And again, you can drive that list to reverse D for D and, leave sticky notes, door knock, all that stuff on it. But as you go through this here, each individual lead, the goal here is, yes, you want to drive for dollars, you want to virtual drive for dollars, you want to, reverse drive for dollars, you want to list build, or use list builder. You have all these ways to build a great list. You have skip tracing and mail to reach out to those people, which I'll show off exactly how to do that here in a second. But once you're in the door, once you're in, you've gotten through and you're actually talking to the seller at that point, like, hey, let's help you close the deal. And, one way to do that and be extremely confident in the numbers that you're giving and in the breakdown of what their property is worth is through this comps button right here. So this is with every single individual or every single DealMachine plan starter gets it and everything too. But when you look at a lead, you hit this comps button right here and you'll see immediately, and let me make this a little bigger for you. And this looks exactly the same on the phone as well.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the main differentiators between us and just anything else out there is mobile. Like everything we do is updated to really be optimized for mobile because we know you're out there driving. We know you're, busy going from, appointments and going on the go, and you'll have a conversation. You need to pull the comps up right there. Like it's all looking like this on the phone too. But as you go right here, you can go in and filter and say, yeah, show me all the comps, from the last 6 months. In this market, I'd probably say the last, maybe, month or two, I might adjust that. You can say the range, you can say your bill, bed, bath, all of that, use the MLS data. Cool. And then go in and just hit start drawing and draw around my property right now, right here. And as you do that, you can see, okay, cool. I've got 3 comps pulled up in a nice part of town here, but I got 3 comps pulled up. And you can see based on that, it'll automatically calculate, and you can select and deselect those comps. It'll automatically calculate the average dollars per square foot based on that, apply that to your property, and then say, here's your estimated value based on those comps right around you.
That's
so
beautiful.
You can use that, right on the go. One other thing, let's see if we can pull this up. So if you hit, let's see, it depends on the market if you have access to this or not. But you've got, okay, those two don't. Let's see if this one's got anything. Here we go. So you actually do have, this one's recently sold in April. You can click into a property here, hit view, and pull up photos right here. And you can see all the MLS photos taken of that property right in the app too. So that's another way to be able to say, hey, yeah, like here's what your property is worth, the ARV. Well, hey, you've got, 50K, 100K of work that's got to be done, based on these photos. Like here's the property that they sold and what it was worth. All right, here's what you can do the math in front of them to show them, hey, here's the spread that we need that needs to be discounted to be able to do that. So people use it as a really strong negotiating tool to look at days on market, to look at the condition of a property, and just do it on the go right in front of them on their phone and be extremely confident to know that you're putting in a good offer and not going in blind. So
I love it. I think this is most important if you're in a non-disclosure state like Kansas, Texas. That's probably the most powerful one because it's like any Joe Schmo go to Zillow, Realtor.com and look at it. But like if you're in any of those states, you're kind of stuck, right? So I think that's going to be probably the most powerful part when it comes to like MLS access for comps. So yeah, I just wanted to add that on there.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. But awesome, cool. Let's see. Anything else on the question side before I keep rolling for you guys? Or
not really. I mean, I've answered some of these questions before.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm getting questions with PropStream, DealMachine. It's all in freewholesaling.com. They're just tools, and some of them are similar, some overlap, and some don't overlap. But like I gotta say, if you're strictly doing drawing for dollars, if you're strictly kind of adding that stuff in there, which I think everyone should, it's going to be the best one out there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. I found the skip tracing between those two softwares are pretty much very similar. I haven't done any extensive, like crazy tests with them, but use DealMachine. You'll get their phone number all the time. So I've done a bunch of testing on it, but honestly, like it's depending on what you want to do, right? So I get so many people that will download like a PropStream, right? And they'll spend it, I don't know, $100 for it. They're like, shoot, I don't have $300 to skip trace this cold calling list or do all I got like $100 this month, right? My budget's $100 a month. For a lot of softwares you pull, $100 really is not going to get you far because that's sometimes just the cost per month of the software. So if I pay for DealMachine, I only have $100. I might put 50 in a DealMachine, then 50 literally just on gas, and I can make it work $100. Like I can make that work, right? And I can get leads, deals, everything from there, right? If I true people search the phone, like it's hard for a lot of other softwares out there. So I kind of want to I've been telling everyone to go to DealMachine for like 3-4 years. I just go to DealMachine, whatever. And I'm like, wait, I need people to get some free stuff while they do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's kind of the point on it, right? But the thing is, like, if you only have $100, like, there is a tool for you to get it going, right? Because people have jobs, like they can't spend all this time doing it by themselves. So it's like, I think that's why I think it's a good partnership. Why I'm kind of sharing it, because like if you only have $100, every software, every guru tells you like it's not going to be the cure all, right? But for like $100, I think it's going to be the best way to spend $100, hands down. So that's kind of what I want to talk about today, is because like even with that low budget, you get MLS comps. If you're in a non-disclosure state, right, you can just pop people's things up. You're kind of not in the dark. That's, I can rant about it all day, but guys, you're not drawing for dollars enough. And if you're asking me how many drawing for dollars leads I need, the answer is always more. Okay. It's always more. So as many as you can.
Yeah. Love that. I mean, and appreciate you spreading the word, sharing us all, all these years too, Zach. And I mean, I think, on our end too, like you said, I mean, it's, in terms of just what makes us unique in general, I think it is, it's the low cost piece. Everything we do, again, our mission is to give everyone the power of real estate investing, right? So with that mission, you need to be extremely easy to use, extremely simple, very much, as low cost as possible, mobile friendly. Like our mobile app is the most updated, the highest rated, the most reviewed out there. Our support team, our community, all of that together is really, I think, what makes us unique. But we really hang our hat on that most rated and highest reviewed, stat in general. I'm really proud of that. So
I'm telling you, I didn't even know DealMachine was when I started out in wholesaling, but I started talking to people just around wholesaling when I started out. And I'm like, how do you get this deal? How do you do the, DealMachine? I drove it all. I'm like, what? This one guy, I did 15 deals this year. I'm like, how? I'm like, DealMachine. I'm like, what's DealMachine? Like, I didn't understand it. And then I look it up. I'm like, oh, let me talk to this guy. Right. And like, that's how I get this. Like, I didn't know about DealMachine just because like, I wanted to like talk, like people just keep doing deals off. I'm like, all right, well, let me check this out. Right. And I think that's kind of how I organically found you guys. And then I start using it, doing deals from them. I'm like, okay, deal. So yeah, man, that's just kind of how I figure this stuff out. But good question right here. Let's see here. So we got someone in New York City, right? Like, so if I'm in New York City and I want to do some power drawing for dollars, like what do I do, right?
Good question. All right. So you've got a couple options here. If you're in New York, I would say, you can either, pull a list, which we were showing off there for a minute. So you can pull a list in any market. B, you can, if you want to take driving for dollars as the strategy, you could hire a driver in another market, which we see a lot of people do that as well and go in and just to show
it all. Cool. No, it's not, no one virtually is like, you can hire a guy in like, Kansas City, St. Louis to do that. And it's insane.
Yeah. And you can just go in like this top right here where your profile is, click team, just add that email, invite by email, and they're already in DealMachine adding leads for you. They can just log in and go that way. So that's one option. Or what's really, really cool, and this is always just fun and basically clicking for dollars. It's fun, simple, easy. It's the same idea of driving for dollars and looking for physically distressed properties, right? But you can do it right inside the app. So let me try this here, Zach. Let me know. Can you see? Can you see this here? Hopefully.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Awesome. There we go. So let me expand this for you guys.
Clicking for dollars. So, I like that.
There we go. Yeah. I'm saying you're clicking for cash, clicking for dollars. There we go. And same idea. Like you can see the map, moves as you move, and you turn and very similar to how you would, as you're driving around physically. You click down the street and you can see, and there's actually, so to give a couple of pro tips for people in general too. Virtual driving for dollars, this is something you can do, in any market, from anywhere, from your couch. If you have a really bad weather market, maybe you, especially in the winter, or maybe you've got a day job where it's just hard to drive during the day, hard to look at properties during the day. Like this is a really, really solid way to do it.
Well, if you stop right there, I want everyone to understand that little thing right there, photo taken.
Yep.
No one like ever has that. I just want to break that like that. That's probably the most important part when it comes to that. Because I think that's where I see most people fail.
That's a big pro tip. Like as you drive down the street, again, like you're seeing the route go behind you, so like where to go and where you have gone and all that. But looking at this, like this photo taken right here, that, I would say if you're in one of the top 50 to 100 markets, Google does drive your market at once every year or so. So you're highly likely in a market, if you're, in that size, of a place that has recent photos. But that is absolutely key to know, because like, hey, if you look at that picture, you want to know, is this taken 3 months ago or 3 years ago? And even if it was taken 3 years ago, the deal's not necessarily the lead's not necessarily.
And he's popping in and out, but pretty much like what he's talking about there is like,
And know that, okay, if this was in really bad shape 3 years ago and it has not sold since then hey, they're still owned by the same people. It might still be a pretty solid lead there. If it has changed hands, if it has been sold since then hey, okay, you're probably not wanting to add that lead. So, but the exact same thing of like, hey, drive down the street, hit add lead, and boom, you've got the pin popping up right there. So, awesome, man. So I'd say the virtual D4D, again, with any of these, with anything on, whether you're physically driving or virtually driving for dollars, use a couple of these things that I showed off here. Use the highlights button, because that's your friend of being able to use data to really help know where to drive, and you can even turn it on while you're driving. This top left button right here, you can hit that and say, yeah, just light up all the absentee owned properties around me. And that way, when you actually drive around and be able to drive down the street, you can look and see and say, hey, yeah, like if I drive down here, I know this 5180 right here. Click on that. That's a property that's absentee owned. So it helps kind of give you a little bit of information to know, hey, this looks like a potentially pretty good, potentially a good lead here. They, the roof needs a little bit of work, things like that. So.
Awesome.
If you have that on, you'll be able to see, it's a green line behind you. If you have driven it within the last 6 months, after 6 months, it turns yellow, and after a year, it turns red. So you can zoom out and look at the map and say like, hey, where have I driven? Where do I need to drive? Or, really kind of use that as a way to plan your routes and just be really efficient. Right. And then last but not least, the driver, like adding drivers, the driver recruitment, the driver training, all that stuff. If you're going to scale, like that's the best way to scale this list. So
I love it. And I think one thing that's pretty important, she kind of highlighted before, I've had deals where like on 3 streets in a year, I've done like 3 or 4 deals, right? And it's a smaller market too. And the point is like, we have driving for dollars leads where we call them up. They don't want to sell, right? But we keep that list and we call it like 3-4 months later, and then they want to sell, right? It's sometimes not about getting that list, calling them and say, no, it's gone forever. I'll drive for dollars next year. I think if you have a driving for dollars lead, you should definitely every 3 or 4 months just re-hit that list. And I think that's one big mistake I think a lot of people make. And it's always in that follow-up.
Oh yeah, I mean, we have plenty of people who they've used DealMachine. They built a list a couple of years ago, and are revisiting those leads and getting calls from those people now. Like people who the market's appreciated and they're ready to sell now. So it absolutely the goal there is to be able to market to them long term. Now I can share this, Zach, for you guys. Like I know I talked about that marketing mix of like short-term and long-term marketing outreach, putting together both of those things to really be successful. If I click on the leads tab right here, again, these are all leads that I've added, whether it be through the desktop version or through my mobile app. They sync up and I'll add right there. But when looking at this, when you click view lead, you get both of those options right here. You get the short-term marketing outreach, which is skip tracing, which we've talked about a couple times here. If you hit skip trace, it pings our database. And like you said, it's, our data is, you're not going to find anything better out there. Like there really are only a couple places that provide this type of data. And, we just make it easy to be able to use that, to use it as a tool. Right. But when you hit skip trace, it comes back and it'll say, okay, here are phone numbers, email addresses, other mailing addresses, ways to get in touch with this owner. And that's what I mean by that short-term marketing outreach. It's you have quick response options right here where you can go in, you can look and see, hey, here's a potential deliverable email address. And hey, out of all these phone numbers, it'll come in and we give you premium data. We give you data around, is it connected? Is it disconnected? Is it on the do not call list? Is it landline, mobile? What's the caller ID? You know, it tells you all of that right there. So you can come in and see like, yeah, this number's connected. The caller ID matches the name. It's mobile is probably the best number. Like start there and you know, you've got, you know, right on the spot, one off skip trace, boom. You can make a call, make a text, you know, and you know, use that as your first line of how to get in front of people.
Awesome.
And then combining that, so that's the short-term outreach, combine that with your long-term outreach, where on this side, you've got the start mail button. And start mail, again, like, you know, the goal with this is to stay top of mind with owners. It's to come in and, you know, you've reached out to them, maybe you left a voicemail, you texted them, maybe you left, you know, maybe you've reverse drove for dollars and you left a sticky note on their door or a door hanger, maybe even knocked on the door, whatever you did. Hit start mail. And especially if they say like, hey, you know, maybe in the future, or, you know, now it's not the right time, or, you know, anything like that, to be able to say, oh yeah, soon, you know, anything where they are, you know, don't have the solid timeline yet for you, hitting start mail inside DealMachine. This is going to go in and the default is every 21 days, but it'll come in and this is where you can set it and forget it. Like this is how you scale your marketing outreach, is by hitting send mail. And, you know, you can come in here, you can change the template, change it to any postcard on here, and it'll automatically send these postcards to that owner and, you know, repeat send. So that way, again, you're putting yourself in the right position. So that way, when they do feel that need, when they do have some, you know, some problem that you can come in and solve, like that they think of you, that they've saved your postcard in the pile, that they've saved your number, that they've, you know, put the postcard on the fridge, like, you know, they are the, you know, they think of you first because you were right place, right time with that piece of mail that you sent.
And I can customize those dates, right?
Yeah. So you can go in here, you can customize it right here, or here, let me pause so I don't actually send mail here. But this mail tab right here, so you can do a ton in the mail center. So you click on that. In the mail center, you can see, you know, number of active leads, pause leads, all of that. You can see what mailers are scheduled to send out and what you've sent recently. So it's kind of your go-to place to manage everything that you've done right here. And then inside of the mail, you know, here as well, you can go to postcards, and clicking postcards, you can actually see we've got, you know, a ton of different templates that are default in here. And, you know, these different templates as well, these are the ones that, like I mentioned, Ryan Haywood, the guy who's done 400 deals using DealMachine, he's just using these standard templates. He's going in, you can set your first choice or edit the design and get really specific of like the type of text you wanted to say, the picture, all of that stuff, and really use this as almost like a little mini Photoshop inside the app. But really the idea behind this is, hey, you know, make it really easy on yourself. Just use the templates that are set up for success right there. And you can even adjust the size. You know, you got larger postcards, you've got ballpoint letters where you can create a handwritten postcard or handwritten letter and get really specific there. So in terms of the mail that you can send, you can get all kinds of, you know, creative and things like that to up your response rate. But in the end, like simply just hitting send mail and set it and forget it and let it do its work, that's going to put you in a position to succeed.
Awesome. Cool.
Awesome, man. Cool. Well, really, the last thing I wanted to show off, unless, you know, there are other questions that, you know, I want to be able to show off stuff for. The last thing I want to really show off is in this leads tab right here. This is something that, you know, I would say is kind of that third step for people. Like you're out there, you're either driving for dollars, virtually driving, using List Builder, reverse driving for dollars. Like you're doing something to build a list. Then you are marketing that list. You know, you're skip tracing, you're calling, text, you know, door knock, you're, you know, sending postcards, you're doing all that. That's kind of phase 2. Phase 3 of what we see being the, you know, separating everyone who is doing this consistently, who are doing consistent deals. It's this tab right here. It's staying organized and really managing your pipeline of leads that you're looking at here. And this is the thing, like you've got a lot of powerful things that you can do in this view. Like you can, you know, going into it, you can add leads and, you know, import a list. You can go in and actually export a list too by just clicking that and hit export leads as well. So you can kind of use this as a way to add and subtract leads. I know we talked about tags a little bit there, where you can go in and actually filter and say, yeah, let me filter by tags right here and by high priority, and confirm that and see like, okay, how many leads did I tag high priority? Like, let me start there and call those leads first. And you can, send again the one-off mailers or in bulk by just clicking that and send, start mail in bulk. So you've got a lot of really powerful things you can do here. I would say to stay organized, I think the biggest key is using the notes right here. And what you want to do to really make that a simple process is, say I go in, I filtered by high priority, I call this person right off the bat, I have a good conversation, I go into activity right here, I can hit add and then add note. And add note, this is an easy way that you can really build that relationship with them. Like if they talked about their kids, put notes in there about that. If they talked about the situation they're dealing with, stay organized by putting notes in there for that. Like use this as kind of your go-to place to do that, or even say, hey, I left a voicemail today. Cool. Make it really simple and easy and just stay organized that way. So, using the notes section is a really, again, not rocket science, but it's making it easy for you to build that relationship with people and refer back to your notes anytime you talk to that owner. And, you're able to do that. And then in combo also manage your pipeline through using the use of tasks. And, you've got add right here and add task as well. These tasks, this is where you can go in and just say, hey, go on appointment today. Do that. Cool. I have to do this, tomorrow. We'll say today at 4 p.m. All right, cool. Create that task for myself. And now I know that when I jump into DealMachine, I'll look right here. I'll see my tasks up in the top right corner and I can click on that and see what I've got to do today. Okay, cool. I got to visit this property. I got to go on this appointment and I'm never going to miss a lead again. Like I'm going to use this to stay organized, to take notes, to add tasks for myself and really manage my pipeline, as you would a business really, and make it so that way you are the one always following through, always able to do that thing that you tell that seller you're going to do next.
Awesome.
So cool. Let's see. Good question. List stacking. Stevie James, but that is list stacking available. Yes, there is. So if you go in here, let me clear this out. So clear all. Cool. You'll be able to see, let me find a list that's got that on there for you. Here you go. So this list right here, you'll see these numbers pop up next to every single lead, right? You've got the ones right here, from a lot of these, but this list, you can see 2s and 3s. That is the list stacking right inside the app. So when you go to that, you can click on that button and see, oh, this property was in both of these lists right here. This property was in all 3 of these lists. This one's in all 3 of these lists. So, if for those unfamiliar, the idea of list stacking is that every single list that a property is on is another sign of motivation. It's another sign that they could have, it's this one right here. It's an owner type. It's a particular owner type and equity percentage. It's, certain units count. It's things like that where if you import, say, for example, if you import a list of leads right here, you imported a list from somewhere, then you drove for dollars and then you use List Builder and say that property was on all 3 of those lists, you can click on that and realize, man, that's got a lot of different areas that I have added this to. That's a highly, potentially high motivated lead. And it's a way to really score those leads and know, where do I start? What leads do I start reaching out to? Reach out to the ones that are on a bunch of lists. So
awesome. Yeah.
Did you, I was going to say, do you talk about list stacking that much, Zach?
Yeah, I talk about it all the time.
There we go.
If you can add 2 motivating factors on a list, it's amazing.
Yeah. So that all combines automatically right there for you. So that's all inside the app and, included with, with every deal, DealMachine starter gets that. So
beautiful. And then, yeah, one thing I wanted to show really quick, if it's okay, I just have the app right here. I was just going to show people what it looks like. If you can, comment. I turned my location off, so you don't see, where I'm at. But yeah, this is just I don't know where this is at. I think it's Oklahoma, but it's pretty much the same as if you really look at the web version. I can kind of I can click drive, start driving, then I just tap on there, pop it up, stuff. Equity. What? Holy moly, that one's got no equity in it. But I can tap on something like here, click it, right? Stuff pops up, right? So yeah, it's right. It's pretty similar.
Yep. Yeah, and you've got the drive right there. You've got free drive, virtual D4D, so you can virtual D4D on your phone from your couch like that. Or you've got planned route mode, which that planned route would be that's driving a list. That's going in, and when you hit that, you can just say, hey, which list do you want to drive? Boom, it'll take GPS to drive that list for you.
Yeah, boom. So yeah, I just want to show people real quick what the kind of the app looked like. It's very similar.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, I've got to answer that. Let's see. We've got somebody asked about the referral code. That's scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. That's going to get you.
Yeah, or you can use Zach, ZACH, if like
Mm-hmm.
you just want to type stuff in. But DM Zach just kind of does it all for you.
Yep. The images updated. That again, every property is daily updating in terms of the data there. Let's see, we've got, is there a CRM built in? That leads tab is kind of the CRM, version of what people are doing to manage those leads. So they're in there, they're assigning tasks, they're taking notes, they're filtering out leads, they're using it as a pipeline management tool. I think that answered most of the questions there.
Yeah. So guys, if you want to check it out, just go to dmzach.com. That's probably gonna be the fastest way to go try it out. And what do you get with that?
Yeah, so we got a couple options. I want to share some fun stuff that we're going to be able to do here for this audience specifically too. So dmzach.com, they get $30 in free marketing credits if they go that route. So you've got those marketing credits that go towards the skip tracing. So that's a couple hundred skip traces for free. You've got, or postcards that goes toward the postcards. So you've got like 50-ish postcards for free if you use dmzach.com. Which you wouldn't get any of that if you just went through our website normally. And it's a 7-day free trial too. So if you just want to try us out for free, get a bunch of free stuff, start talking, directly to owners like this, start building that list, start reaching out to people, like just go that route. If you are ready to really invest in yourself, really commit to like taking massive action and saying, hey, I'm going to land a deal, before the end of the year and beyond. Like I'm going to use like Zach's free info that he gives out every single day. Like you guys pump out so much good stuff. You're going to use what you did today or what you learned today, use this technology to really buy right and, really buy killer deals. We did set up, it's DealMachine.com/Zach. So DealMachine.com/Zach. That actually gives you all the free marketing credits. And it's a 1 year of Deal Machine. So it's D for D, it's virtual D for D up to 10,000 leads. It's MLS data, it's MLS comps that I was showing off. It's all the data updating every day. It's the CRM pipeline stuff I was showing off, like the list stacking, the tags, the tasks, notes, all that stuff. All of that for a year, which that alone is worth over $700. And then you also get our route tools upgrade for free for a year, which that's the route tracking, the highlights feature I was showing off, the driving a list, so reverse D for D. And that's all an upgrade. So if you do that, that's worth nearly $600 right there. So all of that in value, that if you go to that link, it would be $590 total to get over $1,300 in value for about over half off for the year. So for people who are like ready to fully commit, if that, I would say you're going to get a way better deal than anything on our site if you go through that link. So it's just DealMachine.com/Zach. And I would say that would be the other route. If you're going to fully dive into this, go that way. I will say one exciting thing, Zach, if you're up for it, I'd love to do a giveaway with that if you're if that works, man.
Do it.
So basically, like, if you're deciding, like, if you're going to go that route, if you're going to commit to yourself from that perspective and purchase this before Monday, so we'll do the drawing on Monday, and you've made the choice, like, hey, I want to go through this, and there were alone, like the ROI of this should be getting the deal itself, right? But if you do go that route and do the DealMachine.com/Zach before Monday, I will randomly select one of the people who bought that deal, and you'll get it for free. So we'll go through and I will refund your purchase. You'll get access to all of that still, because you've said yes, you've committed to yourself to making it to doing this. But I want to surprise somebody and give them free access and really reward those taking action. So I know you give a ton of free knowledge, man. I love like that you're teeing us up to be a great tool to help people out on taking action on that knowledge. And I want to be able to give that away to people too. So if you actually take that deal, I will select one of you. We'll do a random drawing, and on Monday morning, somebody will get that for free. So
awesome. I love it. Yeah. But yeah, guys, like, don't feel obligated. You have to go use Deal Machine to be successful. I always tell everyone, try a free trial. Like, if you don't want to try, like, if you just want to just see it, just try it. And obviously, like, there's a million ways to make $1 million. This is just a tool. And if something you want to do, I use it. You can use it. You can try it out for free. But yeah. Awesome. So dmzach.com, or I got the link in there if you guys want to try out that offer. DealMachine.com/Zach for the software there. But yeah, I'm excited. Someone's getting some free Deal Machine, so I'm happy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I want to give that away, and they get it for a full year. So again, like you said, if you want to try it out, just do dmzach.com. But if you're like, okay, I want to fully commit to it, like go this route, then just through our website, because this is a literally a 50% better deal in terms of everything you get. So wanted to hook you guys up. Hopefully if you didn't get to see this, make sure to, go back and rewatch it. I tried to give the full deep dive, like ultimate demo rundown of everything that we do.
That's for a year, right? The /Zach.
Yeah, the DealMachine.com/Zach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that'd be a full year Deal Machine. And then yeah, like I said, Monday morning will be when we do the drawing. So we'll do that giveaway then, and excited to give somebody a full year of it, man.
And how much is that the discount on the regular one?
It's over 50%
right?
discount. Yeah, 55% discount.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yep.
I share my screen.
Yeah, the main thing is you'll get D for D, or all the stuff I showed off, and all of the upgraded route tools. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, you've got driving for dollars. Oh,
all right,
there you go. Yeah, so that Deal Machine starter, which is up to 10,000 leads for driving for dollars, virtual D for D, all the MLS data, the MLS comps, the CRM stuff, the route tools, so like route tracking, map highlights, drive a list, all of that, and then the marketing credits. So yeah, wanted to hook you guys up.
Awesome. I like it. So you guys check it out. And I think Matt's a pretty available guy if you got questions about Deal Machine, right?
Yeah, if you just Matt@DealMachine.com, feel free to throw that in the chat too. That's my email. I'm a resource for you guys, so my whole role is to make you all more successful. So hit me up, and I'm here to answer questions. So
awesome. Is this it?
Yep, that's it right there.
Yeah, check him out. Email him if you got any questions. But yeah, it's exciting. Matt, I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
we'll see more of you on the channel. But yeah, I really appreciate it. Check it out, guys. It'll be pretty cool. But yeah, Matt, appreciate you hopping on, giving your time. And yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Have a great weekend, and happy deal finding, everybody.
All right, have a good one. I'll talk to you later, Matt. I gotta get this pump up song for everyone on here. So
I know, man.
All right, I'll see you, man.
Yeah, see ya.
Boom. All right, guys. So yeah, check out dmzach.com. You're gonna try Deal Machine out for free. One thing I'll tell you guys, you'll learn wholesaling for free. Go to freewholesaling.com. But guys, y'all been patient. Y'all ready to go. Guys, we paused the wake up song till after, because a lot of people hop on. They were like, oh, wait, let me see the tutorial real quick. Now we're getting the fun stuff, guys. Now we're getting the real fun stuff. So without further ado, let's get it going. Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Oh, snap. Let's get it going, guys. We always got it. You know what we got. We're ready to jack it. We're gonna get jacked up. So I'm excited, guys. So what we're going to do is I want to answer some just general wholesaling questions you guys have. And yeah, let's finish this live stream out with some questions, guys, because I always do that every single one. Just wanted to give on the example here kind of just a breakdown of trying for dollars, especially Deal Machine. So let's get it going. Let's answer some questions. I always get asked a bunch of questions, but yeah, so let's get it going. Let's get some one-on-one calls in and answer and get the questions going. So yeah, guys, appreciate all the comments. Thanks to Matt. And yeah, so another question I get always here is like, Zach, how do I hop on the one-on-one calls? How do you talk to you? How do I ask you the question on the show here? How does it all work? all you got to do is just go to wholesaling house, sneaking for real. And what I do on every single one is I put a link on the top, always on the top, right here. Wholesaling house is for real. Right here, 4 hours ago. Click that. StreamYard link is right on there where you can go talk to me, and we'll talk and see it. So, without further ado, let's get some questions answered. So, first one, hello. Yo.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Jack. Hi. Hello.
Hi, what's up? How can I help you out? What question you got?
Actually, I started virtual wholesaling. I'm in Canada. And first of all, thanks a lot for providing so much information and knowledge. Uh, I'm in Canada. I'm doing wholesaling and investing here in Canada. I quit my job. I was driving long haul truck driving. Like I came to US many times. And now I started virtual wholesaling. I picked Memphis market because after that I want to do investing also. I pulled all the list from the PropStream and I cold call all of them. Total like all the list and total numbers of contact total leads were 7,655. And after that I just got one lead and that house is like a tree is fell on the house and that's why it's just a lead. I'm not gonna make too much money. I'm following up with that seller, and now I'm text blasting all the list that I have, and I already pulled all the list from the prop stream. Now what I'm doing, I'm making that list from the you know county, the people who are behind on taxes. I'm
Yes.
right now making that list. So what I do next, because once I got this list done, I'm gonna skip trace, I'm gonna cold call. After that, I'm gonna do text blasting. And if I didn't got any lead, any deal from there, what I do next, like I wanna keep on taking action.
Okay, that initial list you pulled a prop. What list was it?
I from PropStream, first I started with vacant houses and tired
In
landlords
Memphis?
in Memphis.
Okay, did you do the filters at freewholesaling.com we show you how to do?
Yeah. I watched all your videos from freewholesaling.com, and
Okay.
though because I've applied filter according to like as you told me uh, in the videos, right? And the results, the total leads that I got, right, from all the list. First, I started with vacant houses and tire landlord, and then I skip traced, and then I cold called them. And
Let's break
here in
down this
Canada,
list. All right, man. So like I'm just trying to figure this out. So what was the year of ownership on that list?
year of ownership, I applied 5.
5 years. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. And what was the skip tracing?
I started with batch skip tracing.
Okay, use batch.
Yeah,
And then so how many calls did you do?
like I called all of them.
How many?
Total is 7,655 leads.
7,000. All right.
Like
How many
total.
contacts from that 7,000?
What do you mean, like by contacts?
So how many hellos did you get? Like, hey, I talked to you. I asked you if you're the owner. Are you interested?
Okay, for that I think I need to go into the reports in the ready mode in the Zen call, right?
You're going to have to, yeah, you got to figure it out. Because
Okay, I'm just
I mean, you're asking me number like questions for it, so I got to get answers. Like, did you have like I'm trying to figure out if you had like a 10% contact rate or like a 30 to 40 or even like a 2%, right? Because like these are all stuff I have to figure out. If it's the list that's the problem, is it the servicing that you have? Is it ready mode that's the problem? Is it the script? I can't really answer this question unless I just need data from it, right? So
okay.
let's just leave the contact rate blank here. I'm just trying to figure this out. And what script did you use?
Skip tracing is batch
Script,
skip tracing, and cold calling is ready mode.
script.
Script. Okay. I use your script. Like if somebody picked the call, then started with like hello, and then is this is whatever the like seller name is John. Is this is John? And if says yeah, sometime like here in Canada, like cold calling doesn't work because we don't have like a list. We just blast or
I
do door knocking.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
Canadian wholesaling works. So what did you?
yeah.
What script was it that you used though? Like, walk me through the script. They say hello. What do you
Okay.
say?
Yeah. Hello. Is this is John? If they say yes, um, this is LP. I'm here from. I just say just to make it local. I'm here from Memphis, and looking to buy a couple of properties in the neighborhood. And this is how I go. And you know what? Like my accent is little. Obviously, I came from India as an international student, and my accent is a little. You can understand that, and they hang up really quickly.
Oh no, they don't hang up because your accent, dude. So this is why I try to go through this entire process to figure out what's wrong. You have two massive issues right here, like massive
Okay.
issues, and this is why your results probably didn't work out. Okay, so let me write down these massive issues just so we can visualize this. All right, number one, the most
Okay.
important part: you have a bad script. You did not use the
Okay.
Zach script. All right, that was a bad script. Number one. All right. I've never taught anyone to say, I'm looking to buy your house off the straight up. Like, that will get you hung up every single time. So
Okay.
that is not a Zach script. Okay.
Okay. But I
That's number one.
did download it. Okay.
You downloaded it. Did you go through the free? You don't download the script. The script on the 30-day wholesaling challenge and on the cold calling modules is two things. Are you the owner
Okay.
and are you
Because
interested in selling the property?
actually, in the I watched your video, and you said when you are calling to uh, that video was probate list, and when you are calling to somebody, you're gonna say because they
LP, are you saying that you know my script better than me?
oh, sorry,
I would love to.
I do apologize.
Even the most recent cold calling tutorial in the 30-day wholesaling challenge. I mean, I will bring it up right now if you really want me to. But I just let's go through the 30-day wholesaling challenge. Just do cold calling. A flip with Rick. Go through this real quick. All right, let's see this one. Okay, here we are. We are right here. Let's break it down. Let's go through the script, buddy. All right. Here we go. All right. So this is 3 months ago. When did you call this list?
About a week ago.
Okay. So here we are, the ultimate step-by-step cold calling guide. Step
Okay.
one, are you the owner of address? Now, sure. Step two,
Okay,
are you interested in selling that property? Where on this tutorial does it say I'm looking to buy houses? Are you the owner? And are you interested?
Um,
Where does it say I buy houses on this?
to be honest, I didn't watch this video. That video was for the probate, and I kind of picked
Or is this
that
a
script.
probate list?
Uh, I got it now.
No.
Sorry, I do
You gotta go
apologize.
through freewholesaling.com. All right, let's. I don't want to harp on you on this. I'm just letting you know. That's number
Okay.
one why it didn't work. And we can
Okay.
debate it all the time, but number one's bad script. Number two is you have a
Okay.
severe confidence problem. Okay? You have a severe confidence problem. And your confidence problem arises from you thinking that an accent's going to affect your results. And your accent doesn't do jack squat with your results. But you thinking your accent's affecting you subconsciously makes you sound subconsciously you're not confident, which people can sense the non-confidence over the accent all day. Okay? There are immigrants with way thicker accents than you that don't barely know English that make millions of dollars in wholesaling and as a realtor, anything. Man, they have thicker accents than you. because they have confidence. They don't have a confidence problem. They don't. And they have a really good script. So it's not the accent. It is the script and the confidence issue. That is the main reason why. So you're coming to me. You're saying this is an important question. I just want you to know why it's not working.
Okay.
Okay. So let's kind of fix this. Like we can go cry all day about it, but let's just do a solution, right? Let's make this green for money, right? Number one, we are going to use. We're going to use the two-step script. So we're gonna do three things. All right. Screw it. We're gonna do three things. All right. Number one, we're gonna use the two-step script. Okay.
Okay.
What's the two-step script?
Okay.
Do you know what the two-step script is?
Two-step script.
Yes. Step one, are you the owner of the property? Step two, are you interested in selling that property?
And okay.
Go to freewholesaling.com for it. Number two, we are going to be confident.
Okay.
Okay. What does that mean? Nobody cares about your accent. Okay. I'm literally speaking to you in English. I understand you perfectly. Okay. Like we're not having a communication problem. All right. So your accent doesn't mean anything. All right.
Okay.
Okay. The first lady of the United States in the last administration had an accent. No one cared. Okay. Like nobody cared about her accent. All right. So you can be in the White House and have an accent. All right. Like it doesn't matter. Okay. So it's not okay. That's not a problem. All right. Number three, most importantly, this is going to be key to you. Okay. We're going to go after more motivated lists. We are not going to call 7,000 lists and then say we have a problem after we call 7,000. That's like a ridiculous amount. All right. That's like ridiculous. We are not going to go after 7,000. All right. We're going to be pulling. I think you already know what's a really good cold calling list.
What's the really good cold calling list script? Okay, list.
What's a really good cold calling list? Probate.
As you, yeah.
Tell me what other ones.
The second one is pre-foreclosure.
No, not for calling. Not for calling. Well, let's do it together. Code violations.
Code violation, yeah.
Basically, like I can sum it up. Just government lists, right?
Yeah.
So we at most 1,000 would be like the most you'd have to call, right? So that is 6,000 less calls. 6,000 less calls we have to do. Yeah. With a better script, you're gonna be fine. All right.
Okay.
Like it's not rocket science, right? We're gonna add the water shutoffs. We can add liens. I mean, I think of all the lists you can possibly pull, right? They're all there.
Yeah, list stacking.
You don't have to know. You just you add that, and then you call that list. You add this, you call that list, right? There's so many. You can do this FSBOs if you really want. If you really, I'll call Memphis FSBOs and close a $40,000 deal tomorrow, right? Like I can do it. Like you can do it too. Like these are all lists you can start doing. So I think so many people get this really caught up. This is going to be your success formula right here. Okay. Like you don't need to complicate this stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, man, you're asking me, this is the stuff it takes to be successful. I wish you hopped on here for your cold call. Like, hey, Zach, I'm going to start. Wait, hold on. You said you called all these lists last week.
Yeah. And that's because
you called 7,000 leads last week.
Yeah. And that's the
7,000.
thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I would love to know your contact.
Because yeah, here is my laptop. And that's the thing. Leads here, and this is because I'm new to cold calling and new to these softwares. And I like when I pull the, let's say I pull the vacant houses list from the PropStream and I skip traced and then I uploaded here in the ready mode and I like hit the ready button and whoever answering like having a conversation with them and nobody was like ready to sell. Can you
Okay.
see? This is, yeah.
Yeah, no, all right, dude. Tell me what the email me over a screenshot. I'd like to see it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. But basically, what you're doing right now is you're asking me, hey, I didn't get a deal after a week. What's my issue? And I told you the main issue,
Yeah.
right? So obviously, you're not going to drop another what $800-900 on skip tracing for new leads, right? That's kind of ridiculous. I want you to get back to me. I'd love to. Like I'm not saying this, but like I just want to know how many pickups and new calls did you have? I feel like a lot of these people hung up because you weren't confident and you had a bad list. That's the truth. And then we can add more motivated lists. I think you're going to be fine. So I think that's all you needed to start doing. And then you can start getting a little better. Dude, it's those little tweaks that change everything. So yeah,
Okay. And so I'll call these same homeowners again,
sure. If you want,
right? Because as I choose Memphis market, right? So I already pulled all these lists. So obviously, if I'm pulling them again, it will be same contacts, right? So I'm gonna call the same list again, right?
I want to know what your contact rate is.
It will be under reports, under the audit
Yeah, send it
logs.
to me. I just want to know because I want to see if I've had Zen call issues. That's why I don't use Zen call anymore. So I don't want there to be any Zen call issues. And that could be another reason why it's not working, right? Like it's just not contacting. So, because are you using a 12 line dialer probably?
I dropped that to 3, so
Okay.
I can't
A
miss on
lot.
any.
7,000 to 3 lines a lot. So I personally find your contact rate and start using that. I think it's going to help you out a lot.
Okay. Yeah, because I contacted to their support and they said fix it at 3. That will be good. Don't take it to 10. So I just put it at 3. So for now, uh, I'm gonna. If you want, I can change from ZenCall to another software. I think you
I don't
use
think that's
Batch
going to,
Diver, right?
dude, I don't think that's going to be the cure all for you, man. So let's change the script. And let's see if that moves it. All
Okay.
right. I want to know what your contact rate is. All right. So let's do this really quick. All right. Let's just do a quick because I want to coach you on this call because I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time with this. All right.
Yeah.
I just wrote this down really simple. All right. This is the script. This is it. Like
I
this
will.
is
Yeah.
all right. So we're gonna practice the script. All right. We're gonna
Okay.
practice this really quick. All right. Just so we don't get this too confused. So let me hear you call me on this one, and then we're gonna get better at this. All right. And I want you to know, do you think I care? Let me ask you a question, LP. Do you think I care that you have an accent?
No.
No. Do you think it's going to affect anything? Do you think I
No.
know
Nothing.
millionaires in wholesaling that have thick accents?
Like
Do you think I know them
that,
on my phone right now
I
that I talk to on a regular basis? Do you think I do?
do understand, and now I got that in mind. It's like
And
a
now you know that.
confidence problem.
So you know for a
Yeah.
fact that I don't think it's going to affect me. So since you now know that it will not affect me, I want you to go through the script right now. Have
Okay.
authority in your voice and confidence that exactly I know how to help you out. All
Mm.
right. I want you to have the confidence. All right. That you need to be like, you need to have confidence on it. So let's go through the script right now.
Okay. So like I'm the buyer, so I'm gonna call,
You're
and you will
calling me,
be the
man.
seller, right?
Do it.
Okay. 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 Hello. Are you the
Hello.
owner of 123 Main Street?
All right. Let's do this
Hello.
one more time. You got to let me answer.
Okay.
Don't get too
Okay.
aggressive with it. Let me answer, right? Follow me?
Hello.
Hello? Who's this?
Are you the owner of 123 Main Street?
Yes,
Are you interested in selling your house?
possibly. Who is this?
Yeah. This is LP here from Hometown Home Buyer.
Okay.
Me and my partner, we're looking to buy a couple of properties, and we saw your that's the thing, because don't have that script right now. Can we
You're gonna
start
take the
again?
hunt, man. Let me write you a script. All right. Do you know how to screenshot on your computer and stuff like that?
Yeah.
All right. So let's go through the script really quick. All right. This is really simple too. Okay. Like I just want you to go through this really quick and we can kind of break this up. All right. When you're talking to a seller, it is all about 4 things. All right. Go through freewholesaling.com. It's all in here.
Yeah.
MCTP.
Condition, motivation.
So you know this, but you didn't
Time.
do. Now you say you don't know the script, right? So when you're talking to me, why am I looking to sell the property, right? Can you tell me a little bit about the house? When do I want to sell it? And how much do I want to sell it for?
Yeah.
We have to focus that conversation on those 4 things. That's the script, man.
Yeah.
Nothing
And
special with it.
actually, I when I watch your videos, I have like there are 4 main things: motivation, condition, timeline, and price. And now, as I'm talking to you, I'm kind of nervous. So
Why are
that's
you
why.
nervous? What am I going to do? Am I going to say no, that I don't want to sell my house and you lose the deal? There's no deal to be had here, okay? We're just practicing.
Yeah.
Right, man?
Yeah. So now
Practice it
I'll
and come back to me and we can work on this next week. You need to get some practice.
uh,
You're on the right
yeah,
track. You just got to understand what to say. You'll be fine.
yeah, and yeah, thanks a lot for the help. And well, I'll go through the script first, then I will start cold calling. And
I
obviously,
want
I'm
you to go
along
through it.
with that. I'm sorry.
I want you to go talk to me before you start doing some massive calling because I want to make sure you're doing it right. Okay?
Okay, got it.
It's like I can
Yeah,
tell
for
you
now.
not to put diesel gas in your engine because it's a regular gas car, and then you do it anyway, and then you come back to me and say, "Why is my car's not going?" And then I'm like, "Well, why did you do that damage?" Right? I'm going to stop the damage before you do it. So hop back on. I want to help you out, and it'll be fine, man. You got to practice this, dude. So just remember, and you're like, all you got to remember, the 2 scripts, right? Are you the owner? And are you interested? And then MCTP. And then anything in between that, you got to kind of be natural on it, right? Like, hey, this LP, I'm looking to buy some properties for cash. That's what I do.
Okay,
You're adding too much
got
like
it.
filler stuff with that original script. Use the script you got, you'll be fine, man.
Got it. And people hang up really quickly because most of them they are
Because the
like
script
not
sucks.
interested in selling.
Your script stinks. No, see, you're getting in your head right now, man. Like, this is the problem, dude. Okay? Like, if I thought everyone hung up, I would be doing no deals, right? It's a confidence thing, man. You're having a confidence issue. And I don't know how to solve this. You just have to start calling people because, like, call the Zillow for sale owners because they want to sell their property if you really want to get some confidence on. But, like, if you are thinking right now that your accent's affecting your success, it's not. I promise you that. Okay? There's people with thicker accents in wholesaling make more money than me, probably. I don't know any, but probably are. I know in real estate in general, oh yeah, hands down. Okay? So stop getting in your head, man.
Got it.
All right. That's all I can tell you,
Okay,
man. Like
and
you're
yeah,
fine, man. You just gotta calm down, follow the script, be confident, have some authority, and you're good to go.
okay.
All right.
Okay, and I really appreciate your time. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah. I have a question for you then after.
Yeah.
Where
So
is it?
for now, uh, as I like I'm making that list of tax people who are behind on their tax, like tax lien from the county website. So keep on doing that and make that list and then skip trace it. Because I thought like I'm contacting less owner and I need to take more actions.
Say that one more. Wait. Say that one more time.
Like I thought like I just got one lead and I need to take more actions. So what I now am doing, I'm making a list from the county website for the people who are behind on their taxes,
Yes.
the tax delinquency list. Okay, and after after that, I'm gonna skip trace and I'm gonna call. And that's the thing. I was thinking that I'm taking less action, so I'm gonna call more contacts. I'm gonna cold call every day.
Dude, it's I would rather go after a more motivated list than calling a bunch of people. And that's the honest truth, dude. Okay? That's it.
Okay.
Like I could spend 10 hours walking to my aunt's house or just go in my car and drive like 30 minutes. Like, oh, but I spent more time traveling. No, it doesn't matter, dude. Okay? So, you're in your head, man. Just know
Yeah.
your accent doesn't affect you. Is there anything like in your head that you think you can't do this? Because it's like I don't know what I can bring up more stories of people who had no money and then got the first deal in a month and changed their life. Like I can do more of that if you want, but like I'm trying to figure out what's the issue here.
No, I really appreciate that. You got kind of clarifying about the accent because I was thinking about the accent, so it's really about the confidence.
Yeah. What's your name, LP?
My full name is Lovepreet Singh. LP is just
So
short form.
say it one more time.
Lovepreet Singh.
Love
Lovepreet
Singh.
Singh. Yeah,
Why just tell people
you
your
got
name's
it.
Love? Make it short.
Love. Maybe. I think that
It's not
doesn't
bad.
sound
You just
good.
say LP. Do whatever you want, man. Love is an actual like people. It's a unique name. It's cool. Unique names are cool. Do you know who has a really unique name that's really cool? Drake.
Uh, in
He's Canadian.
in my country, like yeah,
He's
it's very
Canadian. He's
common to
pretty
have a
cool.
name like yeah.
It's cool. No one really has the name Drake. Drake's kind of cool. Kanye is a cool name, right? Like unique names are fine, man.
Okay.
Think about it.
Okay, got it. Yeah,
All right, man.
for now I'll focus on script and then because calling bunch of people not gonna make sense if I'm not confident.
Confident. Work on it. You'll be fine.
Okay. Okay,
All right.
Jack. Once again, really appreciate time and help.
No worries, man. Keep it up.
Okay.
Boom. All right. Next one. Ravon.
Sup, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's up? How can I help you out?
So, I recently got PropStream, and the problem I'm having is, especially when I'm trying to skip trace using TruePeopleSearch.com, the problem is that there's like 8 or 7 phone numbers, and I'm kind of confused which one to call, or should I call all of them? And
I would
also on
call.
huh?
Go ahead.
And then also on PropStream, it shows the person's name, which is pretty nice. But the thing is, when you search up the address on PropStream, there's like a different owner's name under the address. So I'm like kind of confused. I already started on Wednesday. I got 0 responses, but I probably because I'm calling the wrong number. It's hard to choose like which one's the right number.
What list?
Huh?
What list?
Vacant houses.
Did you use the freewholesaling.com filters?
Yeah. I did that.
Good.
Like
All right.
equity and all that.
All right. And I would use the top 3 ones for PropStream. Don't complicate it.
Wait, what do you mean by the top 3?
Phone number 1, 2, and 3.
PropStream. Are you talking about True People Search?
Wait, you're talking about where do you skip trace on True People Search?
Yeah.
Just do the wireless ones.
Wireless ones.
The top 2 wireless ones, and then if the top one is a landline, add that one too.
The top 2 wireless ones. All right.
Yeah, and then I would use the landline for the third one if you can't get a hold of somebody. Wireless is usually the best one on True People Search.
Uh-huh.
But some old people are older and they love their landlines too. So,
all right. And if they don't pick up, can I just keep on calling until someone does out of that list, or no?
no, the top 3 you're most likely going to get to somebody. Leave a voicemail, it'd be good to go.
Okay, because I left like a voicemail and like they hadn't like picked up, so I'm probably it's me or something, or I'm calling the wrong number. But,
sometimes you got the right one, you know.
right.
If worst case scenario, dude,
yeah,
I would probably there's an email attached on it, and I'd probably just copy that email, and then I think you do like what 50 to 100 cold emails a day on Gmail.
Gmail. Okay.
Make a template, send it out, you'd be good to go.
Okay. And then also, is it okay that for some, if they don't respond, like if I call them and I don't respond, I text them, but sometimes they don't reply back. How like often should I keep texting back?
Do one more after a couple days, and then one after a week, and that should be it.
One more after a couple days, and one more after one more. Okay, one more. Okay. Oh, I see. And then do you know like any other like free skip tracing sites? I know I tried White Pages, I tried Scopio or Studio.
Keep it at truepeoplesearch.com.
That's just truepeoplesearch.com.
Keep it at that.
Oh, okay. I see. Also, are vacant houses like a good list, especially for like PropStream?
Yeah, what market is this again?
Huh?
What market is this in again?
I'm doing it in Wayne County, Detroit.
Okay, and you're in?
And I live in California, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Are you in Orange County?
No, I live in San Diego.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's why I have to do virtual.
Yeah, Wayne's going to be... TruePeopleSearch.com is going to be the best one there.
Okay, and like vacant houses, because I think vacant house is a good.
I like vacants. Right? Just be careful with the winter over there, but yeah, you should be fine.
Oh, okay. But all right, then I'll just keep on starting and hopefully. Also, is there like a skip tracing too in PropStream or no? Like can you skip?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, it ain't free though.
Oh,
I think it's like 12 cents. So yeah, if you're on a budget, I'd probably just use the True Search or use the PropStream one.
Okay, yeah. All right, then I'll just keep on continuing doing that.
Awesome.
All right, thank you so much.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
Go. All right. Next we got Robert.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I have a couple questions. Basically, I started cold calling and I ran through the 2-question script. I did the MCTP. And essentially my question is like, what if I get a yes and, you know, they give me like, oh yeah, I want to sell the property for like 100K. Do I run the comps really quick and give them a offering price, or do I just I'll just call them? Because what I did, I was just like, all right, cool. I'll just run this, you know, with my cash partner, call you later, you know, and then that way what I would figure out the repairs, they get boots on the ground.
All right, let's go back to this tutorial video.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did. I ended up just get the price. I didn't even do an offer price.
Bro, look right there. The script's right there. Thank you so much, Mr. Seller. And if it's okay, I'll call you back and look at everything and see if it'd be a good fit for me to buy.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So you don't do offer. You gather information, call back, and then from there you do the comps and everything like that. Obviously, right?
Okay, cool.
So yeah, do the comps, but after they're interested and they're pretty much qualified from you to a point.
Yeah,
right?
because the other thing that I was thinking, I was like, all right, what if they're like lying to me, and then you know I have to like get boots on the ground to then verify like, okay, there's actually no roof leaks. Because I'm virtual too.
At that point, man, if you lock it up for 100 and there's a massive issue that they didn't even know about, you just get a price reduction. Yeah, and they wouldn't be mad because like, hey, you told me there's no leak. There is a leak, so we're gonna have to be at this price.
Okay, and
don't
then
be like, because there's a leak, is it okay if we're at this price? No, because there's a leak, we're gonna be at this price. If you say with authority, they're like, yes, sir. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah. And dude, most people are reasonable, man. Like, I know it's always important being a man or woman in your word, but I say in the offer, hey, as long as there's no crazy thing, like you saw me on Tuesday say this, right? There's no crazy like like termites or something nuts, I can be at this price. But if something bad's happening that we don't know about, I'm gonna have to be lower. Does that make sense? Oh yeah, makes sense.
And then you should only send boots on the ground once they have the contract signed.
Yep, signed.
Okay. And then also too, I was getting a couple callbacks and I was like trying to figure out like where they're calling from or what their name was or what property. How do you like follow up with that, like, oh yeah,
What list?
like, so like when they call you, because you called
What
them, like
list?
they're return, huh?
What list?
High equity.
If it's a high equity, I'll just be honest with you.
Because I was
On a
just doing like a quick search, like on my
it's a big
Excel.
one. No, it's not like you can have like a list on the podium or something like that. Or like a Google Excel. So honestly, what I do, like, hey, I was calling people in blank blank city. All right, where are you virtually wholesaling in?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. So let's say you're doing Charlotte, okay? Which hopefully you're not. Are you doing Charlotte?
No.
Good. All right. So, hey, I'm actually calling people around Charlotte. We're looking to buy some more properties. Are you looking to sell your house?
Okay.
No. Okay, no big deal. Yeah, I was just calling some people around. I just had a list of properties we might want to be buying, met our criteria, and we're just saying, oh, you are looking? What's the address?
Okay. Perfect. All right, cool. And then the other last two questions, for foreclosures, I'm looking for like 30 days or more, right? Before auction.
Yeah, it's got to be over 30.
Okay.
I don't know the foreclosure process for whatever certain city you are doing in North Carolina. Don't tell me because I don't want people to be going after it. But I would look up how the foreclosure process works there. If you don't, I'd just try to contact people around and just kind of see what it is.
Yeah, because I watched the video of judicial or non-judicial.
Dude, it's still different, man. Every county is weird, man. Like in my city, there's places where no one paid taxes for 5 years. And now the auction's happening after 5. And then one, even in my own city, like there's one in another city over like 15 minutes from me where it's like, if it's been like a year, boom, property's auctioned off, right?
So it goes by cities or it goes by counties?
It's weird, dude. Because sometimes the bank doesn't want to do the process right for a pre-foreclosure. If it's a bad bank, a good bank, I can't say this one bank. There's this one really dirty bank, and I'm going to get sued from them if I say it, so I can't say their name. But if you don't pay like 3 months, 3 to 4 months, like they're nasty, right? They'll get you out quick.
Okay, so how do I find out? Just like a Google search or like
they're banks, man.
Just
they're all individual corporations.
Okay, because I was like, that's my next question is like when I like call these people, would I call the seller? Or would I call the bank or the lender?
I would call the seller, and then from there you get permission to get the payoffs, the auctions. But usually the seller has all the information.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if they do have like a loan or like a lien, essentially that amount, let's just say they owe like 10 grand, would I wouldn't have to be responsible for that, right? It would just get cut off of whatever they get from selling the house.
That's it. So if you ever want to explain to somebody, like, I'm not going to whiteboard, but like you buy it for 100, you're going to net 90,000 at the end of this because you got to pay 10,000 off of there. Oh, but I don't have $10,000, Robert. It's okay. You don't owe any, like you only owe 10 grand. Actually, oh my gosh,
the end buyer would,
I hate explaining this, but I do remember how many times on a pre-foreclosure that I have to explain this to a seller. So I'd rather you get it really quick. Nothing for you, but like I'm a visual learner. So let's say Sally, she has a $60,000 loan, right, from the mortgage, right, that she hasn't paid. Okay.
Yeah.
She owes $60K on it, and then she is behind also $3,000 in back taxes, right? So this means basically that she's like, Robert, how much would I get net at the end of this? Like, I'm confused. I don't have $3,000 to pay at the closing. I have $0. And you know for a fact this deal will be an easy deal at 95, right? You know at 95, any cash buyer will pay for this, right? That's a great deal. So you explain to her, well, what price do you need to sell it for, right? And she's like, at 80, and you're going to make 15. So you explain to her at $80,000, which is you're going to get, we're just going to minus off 63,000, which will equal, oh God, 17,000. I've been taking a math class in a hot minute. 17 grand is basically what she will net, right? Yeah. She'll net $17,000.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You don't have to pay anything out of, you will net 17 grand. That is what you're getting if you sell it for 80.
Yeah, because I'm not responsible for her actions. Yeah.
You're not. And she has to pay that. Now, hear me out. This is where I want you to understand. If she comes up to you and says, I don't want to pay, you know what, Robert, 80 doesn't work. You know what? Or she says, I don't know, the taxes, all this is so much. Like, I don't want to deal with this. Be like, you know what? I can't do 80, Robert. You say, this is your Hail Mary, all right? You know what? Let's call her Sarah. You know what, Sarah? Let's do this. Okay. How about we do, since you can't do 80, how about this? How about we do 80,000 and I'll take care of the taxes. I'll take care of the taxes. So you'll net $20,000. I'll just pay the taxes out of my end.
That's creative financing.
Nope. No.
Okay.
No. She'll net 20K. How this works in wholesaling. See, you think it's this crazy creative finance guru schmoo thing. No, it ain't. You would net what, 15 grand, right? Of assignment fee.
Yeah.
The title company is just going to minus you off 3 grand of your assignment fee. And then you're just going to get a $12,000 one.
Okay. So
That's
when I do call these foreclosures, should I ask them like, oh, like how much do you owe? Do you owe? And you know,
I would get some information first and then get into it.
okay.
Because you have it all on PropStream.
Okay.
Between you and me, man, does it matter how much they owe? It really doesn't. Like, unless this number is way too much, it doesn't really matter. If they owed 50, does it matter? Do they owe 70? Does it matter? Not really.
Okay.
Because this number right here doesn't change, right? This number don't change at all, right? What the house is worth to a cash buyer doesn't matter. It doesn't change at all.
Okay.
So that's the way I do it. So it's not creative financing. Your fee would be 15K. You're just gonna have to take out 3,000 of that. But I tell you, man,
like take the deal.
I have saved so many deals doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the taxes just stress them out, and it's actually a win-win, right? They would rather say yes to that than you offering them 83,000.
Yeah,
They would rather you just do that.
Okay, yeah, and then the very last question is, can you wholesale like the already renovated houses?
Yes, I actually have some vlogs on this. I've done this before.
Okay.
And what you have to understand about sellers is they either want to sell it, and you're gonna make money in wholesaling if the seller either has a problem with the property or a problem with themselves, right? Only thing. So if there's no problem in the property, we got to focus on them, right? And so I've always made money on properties that are really nice or clean, not even renovated, but just like clean, like you know, old people, like
yeah.
They don't touch a house, but like it's not updated, but it's not bad, right? It's weird, right? They kind of
you still like calculate like if there's like the old lady has like this house, she has it's clean, but it's not like up to date.
There's no problems. It's just not up to date. It's like she bought this thing in the 90s and she hasn't touched it, right?
Yeah. Would you still calculate the repairs for that?
There's not really repairs, right? Like there are, but like, you know, it's just not updated. So you just, what's the ARV and then how much would it cost to update that? You can really get it that complicated. The most important part you got to do is just focus on her or him. Like, hey, why do you want to sell this property? You know, you should list this thing. I just want to get rid of it. Like, I don't want to go through the realtor or anything. I just want to move.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we just buy this thing cash. What works for you? So if Miss Seller, if I was able to just buy this thing in 2 months, you don't deal with all the craziness with everything, closings, realtors, walkthroughs, all this insane stuff. And if I was able just to buy this thing, I mean, what works for you? I do it all cash.
Yeah.
Well, what if I pay closing costs? Can we do this price if we pay closing costs? You know the game. You focus on her and just getting rid of the property, then on the property, right? Because if you focus on the repairs and how much, because she knows the house is fine. That's it.
Okay. And then, for when I'm doing these calls, like, do I just only log it on Podio for everyone that's like a lead, or do I just put like call this?
The rule is, if somebody wants to sell their property, then put them in Podio.
Okay. Cool.
Ready? Ready for this? Yeah. Hey, Robert, are you looking to sell your house? Yes. Will you do this price? No. Okay, well, I'll follow up with you.
Okay, so just
if they just want to sell, dude, put them in there, and then just keep relentlessly following up with them.
Okay, cool. And then yeah, I guess like one thing too for Arizona, they ended up a couple months ago, they ended up like on their government like website, they put like a new like wholesaling disclosure. Have you read about that?
Oh yeah.
Is that so? How does that is like? How do you disclose that you're a wholesaler? You just put it in the contract, or you tell them
About
like,
intent, dude.
huh?
I'm not a lawyer, but it's all about intent, and I've talked to plenty of lawyers. When I put a
Intent.
property under contract, I intend to buy it with my partner. We go halvesies, or I intend just buying it for myself all cash.
Okay, so I can just use your.
Sometimes I'm not telling you what to say, but sometimes I intend to buy it myself, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't want to buy this. I'm just gonna give it to my buyer, my cash buyer. I intended to buy it myself, but things changed. I'm just gonna give it to my buyer.
Okay, cool.
My intention was to buy cash myself.
Yeah.
So
All right.
how does this work? You could have a hard money person that could back you up if you were to theoretically wink, wink, buy the house all cash. You just get a loan on it, right?
Mhm.
You don't need other funds. You just have a lender ready to buy it with you. And then maybe, you're like, you know what? I don't want to buy this thing anymore, but I'll just give it to my partner. Your intention was to buy it with that loan, right?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you what to say. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not a lawyer, financial advisor, or anything this.
Yeah.
It's all about
Yeah,
what you're
I get it. I
intending.
get it. Yeah,
You
yeah.
get it. I'm
Cool,
saying
cool.
it for everyone around here. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a group.
And I can just use that your contract, the purchase and sale, and the assignment one.
Make sure the title company's okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to bring that signed agreement to a title company. They say no, then you're screwed.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, if they're investor friendly and they're familiar with assignment contracts, should be good to go.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Zach. Well, thank you so much.
Appreciate it,
Do you
man.
have any homework?
For you,
Yeah.
talk to more sellers.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's the thing. I was just using a Google number just because right now, like, I'm trying to figure out which one to like use.
Use Google.
Just Google, and then I'm only limited to like one phone for Google, so it's like, how do I can't. I tried making another account, but it's like I can't because it's like already linked.
Google cares about IP addresses, right?
Okay, so just get like a VPN or something.
You can do that, but that's kind of confusing too. A computer as an IP, an iPad as an IP, a phone as an IP.
Cool.
A lot of things will have IP addresses everywhere, man. Think about it.
Sick. All right, man. Thank you so much.
Right. Appreciate it. Guys, I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. That is how you deal with DealMachine. That is how I'm trying to answer as many questions as possible, guys. Sorry if I can get to everyone today, but I'll tell you straight up, I'm going live on the Zach Ginn YouTube channel on Sunday. And I'll tell you straight up, if you want to talk to me, I'll probably have an entire hour and a half of just one-on-one calls on the Zach Ginn YouTube channel. So if anyone's on here that didn't want to talk to me on Sunday. I'm going to buy Keaton's PC setup right there. It's got a lot of lights going on there. I want to see it. But yeah, I got to hop off today, guys. But I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Check out dmzach.com. And remember, learn wholesaling real estate for free at freewholesaling.com.